I was gonna ask a question.
Okay, hang on. What is Shakespeare written in? English iambic pentameter. What's an iamb? It's a foot. It's called a foot. Ta 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 ta. There are 5 of those. That's pentameter, iambic pentameter. Japanese doesn't have iambs and trochees, and it simply has syllables. And the meter for Japanese poetry, the classical form of it, which is 2,000 years old, is 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables, 5 7 5 7 5 7 back for long poems, ended by a couplets, 2 sevens, or short poems like tanka. That means a short song or a short poem. It's 5 7 5 7 7. That's a poem. That's a tanka. Okay, you had a question?
Aren't the signature ones haikus?
What is a haiku? I thought you guys all wrote those in grade school, like you
Is
do.
it 575?
575. That's a haiku. And a haiku is it's a relatively new poetic form from the 17th century. These are much, much older. I think these are 1,300 years old. They're from the 7th century. They're very old. And I told you that I was teaching poetry at Robert Service and Walt Whitman to my English students in Japan, and then this 13-year-old girl said, "Here's what we're studying in school," and I didn't really understand it. She explained it. It wasn't until I came back and started studying classical literature that we translated these for a year. We read classical literature for a year, and there's poetry that is interlarded. It's put into among runs of prose, and then there would be a poem. Okay, here's one. That's it. Haru wa hana. You can't see it. Haru wa hana. It's a haru wa hana.
Haru wa hana.
Haru wa hana. That's the way the Japanese will count. You'll see them studying when they'll be going like this. When they first start. Everybody in grade school, or junior high school is, I think, 3rd year of junior high school, and then in high school will study classical literature. Haru is spring. What's a hana?
Flower.
Flower. And usually in classical literature, this is a blossom. This is a tree blossom, probably a cherry or a nana. So what would haru wa? There's the subject particle. Haru wa hana. What is spring? Flowers, blossoms. In spring blossoms, or the spring is. But see, Japanese poetry is it's very, very concise. It doesn't waste a single syllable. You have to bring things to it. Haru wa hana. Natsu is
Summer.
summer, right? Natsu wa hototo gisu, and hototo gisu is a cuckoo. Yeah, it has this. I think I can get close.
Mm-hmm.
Second. That's so. The spring is blossoms. Summer, the cuckoo. Aki, what's aki?
Fall.
The fall. Aki wa tsuki, and the tsuki is the moon. Is the moon. So what's left? Fuyu. Winter. What's yuki? Sayate. Yeah, yuki sayate. The snow is sharp or clear. Clear. It's clean and clear. Suzushi. Suzushi is an adjective they use right now. Suzushi, but this is just suzushi, which means what is snow? Cold. It's cold. Karikeri, and this is an inflection or a conjugation of that adjective. So, minna de haru wa hana.
Haru wa hana.
Natsu hototo gisu.
Natsu hoto gisu.
Aki wa tsuki.
Aki wa tsuki.
Fuyu yuki sayate.
Fuyu yuki sayate.
Suzushi karikeri.
Suzuki Sky.
Okay. Haru wa hana. 5. Natsu hototo gisu. Aki wa tsuki. Fuyu yuki sayate. 7. Suzushi karikeri. 7. And when you read enough of them, or when you hear hear them declaimed, there's a sound to it. There's a feeling to it. Haru wa hana, natsu hototo gisu, aki wa tsuki, fuyu yuki sarete, suzushi karike. How many syllables? 5, 7, 5, 7, 7. 7 times 3 is? 5 times 2 is? How many syllables? 31. Do you think you could handle memorizing that? What's the first line?
Haru
You got it. Haru wa hana. Yeah, what's a cuckoo? Hototo gisu. Misan, hototo gisu.
Hototo gisu.
When does it come in? Natsu. Natsu hototo gisu.
Natsu gisu.
Misan, natsu.
Natsu.
Hototo gisu.
Hototo gisu.
Aki wa tsuki.
Aki wa tsuki.
You can memorize that. Aki wa tsuki.
Aki wa tsuki.
What's left? Fuyu.
Fuyu.
And what do you have? Yuki.
Yuki.
Sarete. What is it? It's cool or cold?
Cold.
Suzushi karike. Karike. You could memorize that. Take 5 minutes, you'd have it memorized. Okay, let's go to the next one. いいですか? 心とは、皆さん、心とは。
心とは
And another thing that makes Japanese, the signature to Japanese poetry, natural phenomena. The hototo gisu, or the snow, or the blossoms, or the wind, or the rain, or frost, or dead grass next to the road. Okay, so here we are, kokoro to wa. This is a little more esoteric. Kokoro is the heart. Kokoro to wa, misa kokoro to wa.
Kokoro to wa.
This to wa, right here, if you want to explain something, you throw something up for explanation, or for what could it be. Kokoro to wa. What is the heart? This is the human heart. The human heart, or kokoro to wa, kokoro. What is it? Ikanaru mono o. Ikanaru mono o. What's this? O is the direct object particle. Ikanaru means any number or any manner of things. Yu naran. It can be described in any number of different ways. Sumie means okay. Kokoro to wa.
Kokoro to wa.
Ikanaru mono o.
Ikanaru mono o.
Yu naran.
Yu naran.
Sumie ni.
Sumie ni.
Kakushi.
Kakushi.
There's a double entendre here. Kakimasu means to draw. There's or to write. But a sumie is an ink painting. So it can be drawn into an ink painting, or it can be hidden inside of it. Sumie ni kakushi. And then matsukaze no oto means matsukaze.
Matsukaze.
It's a kaze.
Wind.
A wind, right? Kamikaze, kaze. Matsu is a pine wind. Matsukaze no.
Matsukaze no oto.
Oto is a sound. Matsukaze no oto. Matsukaze no oto sounds like this. Matsukaze no oto.
Matsukaze no oto.
You ever been out in a forest, a pine, and what the wind sounds like going through that? On the side of a canyon, and there's wind coming out the canyon. That sound. It's so big. Matsukaze no oto. What is the heart? Kokoro to wa, misa kokoro to wa.
Kokoro to wa.
Ikanaru mono o.
Ikanaru mono o.
Yu naran.
Yu naran.
Sumie ni.
Sumie ni.
Kakushi.
Kakushi.
Matsukaze no oto.
Matsukaze no oto.
How many syllables? 31. Yeah. Memorize one of those. That's 10 points. Okay, so when you come back from Thanksgiving, next Monday, I'll bring in a sign-up sheet for the interviews, which will be a week later. So on Monday or Tuesday, we will sign up for interviews. And then during the interview, if you want to, this is extra credit. So if you want 10 extra credit points, memorize a poem.